Wrong button. There we go. Oh boy. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, this is a very nice art indeed. My VTuber mom, Nagidon, did it on very, very short notice. I am extremely grateful for that. Gave her a nice big tip for that as well, because of course that's what you should do. Today, we're just going to kick back, relax. I'm going to make a cup noodle gampla. I'll have some announcements near to the end. Let me see. Either I finished the gunplay and a couple sketches, and like, I probably shouldn't take more than an hour to make this right. And then I'll have a couple announcements. They're content related, just content related, nothing scary, nothing too drastic. And then we'll have some fun. But number one, get all this out. Obviously, we're going to put lids, plastic noodles, the outer shell, the rest of the stuff, plus a few stickers, and instructions. I bought these months ago when I was visiting the local game store when a friend was visiting from Los Angeles. This was pre-vaccination. And I pretty much got my vaccination done as soon as possible, so it definitely took a while. Let me see. This recommends flesh cutters as well as the regular razor, so give me a second while I pick that up. Flesh cutters. Where'd I put my flesh cutter? Flesh cutters from my 3D printer. Also got a pair of backup razors. Interesting. This is step 4. Step 6. So where's step 3? Here we are. Working from this and on. Okay. So what we'll be doing first is the lid. Actually, what we'll actually be doing first is separating everything out. Let me see. Actually, this right. This is complex. Okay, so part is B4. This is C, this is F. Set that aside for now. Oh, here we are, B4. weekly cuts. 1. G2 and C3. Well, let me clip these out as well, just set them aside. These are all the B parts. Almost stabbed myself there. That's a little messy. A little hard to cut. Hold on. Oh, it just kind of fell out. That probably means I need to polish the tips a little bit, but that's fine. Polish the tips. Please, of course, let me know if the audio needs to be improved in any way. Yay, this is done. B section is cut out. Set these aside and set this over here because that's the one I'm going to be using primarily. Next part is to find G and C. This is A. This is E. This is C. This is F. D, and this is G? No, H. Where's G? Oh, there we are. G's on this side. Audio's all right. Thank you very much. I should say G2 and C3. All right. G2 and G1. This is a cup noodle replica. It's literally a Gunpla cup noodle replica made by Bandai Namco. It shares the same fundamental technology. It's injection molded plastic, just like with the Gundam kits that you can find a lot of hobby stores nowadays. And I got it just because it looked fun. Yep. I sure as hell wasn't expecting to see like 3 dozen of these things being sold at my local hobby store, you know? I said, hey, why not? Where should I put the junk? Junk, let's just leave it over here. Take care of it later. All right. Next is C3. Actually, no, I should get rid of the little dingles on G1 as well. I'm not sure if I want to like go all the way into the hobby yet and like buy an actual like high grade Gundam kit or anything. But if I did, my friends will have plenty of recommendations for me. So hey, who knows? Maybe I'll do more of these in the future. I haven't built like a Gundam kit since I was a kid. Actually, that was like with the what was it? The Winged Gundam back when it was like still airing. C5, C1, C3. All right, how does this go? Oh, this part was not a particularly clean cut. Let me clean that up a little bit. There we go. All right, how does this attach? Facing down. So there's a little hole on top that this fits snugly onto, and now that's attached. And then this side goes like so. There we go. There. Perfect. Nice and perfect fit. Next is F1, C1, and F2. What are the Fs? F1 attaches upward, so it probably interlaces directly with the cup over here. Yeah, seems like that. It's a bit of a tight fit, and by combining the two, you make it even stiffer. So there we go. Yeah, it clicks into place. That part's not clicking. Oh, I see. You actually have to find like the injection molded line and line it up properly, or else it doesn't fit quite right. That might have been a mistake on my part. Should be easy enough to rectify though. All right. Yeah, there's a really faint line over here that probably not going to show up on camera. That you have to then match with a similar line somewhere on the golden band. And that's a level of finickiness that I can sort of appreciate, but it's a pain in the ass. Okay, I see now. There should be a hole somewhere here. Okay, I see the line. It's all about that fine detail, right? Special Gunpla. Oh, also have that line. Let me tell you, I'm not exactly a fine detail sort of guy. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Once you actually find, like, here, that little dub is barely, let me see. That little dub over there is barely visible. But once you find it, like, find the right slot for it, it just like slide right in. Now, where did you go again? I both love and hate how everything's so like precisely measured that there's fine details like that. The 144 RG New Gundam. I think I've seen that one. I think I have a friend that made that one. I'll look into it. Thank you for the recommendation. All right, there you go. F1 plus C1. There you go. Where is that nub? Here's. So there's a small nub over here, a small connecting piece over here. I should get this lamp. It'll be a lot easier if I can actually see what I'm doing. This right? Yeah, facing down. Here we go. All right, next is F2. building a desk lamp. You know what? I could do that. I could just 3D print out a lamp. It would not be difficult. All right, which way is which? Almost fatally dropped the whole thing. Whole thing. Deeply underappreciated. All right. That concludes part 1. Dracon, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. Ha ha ha. Nah, PC man. A Cut Doodle model. Banana Namco's Cut Doodle Gunpla. Instead of an actual Gundam, I'm making every college kid's savior. Let's see, next part is C2, G1, and A23. It ain't Gundam. It's not a Gundam. Sorry. What it is injection molded plastic kits, like you would see from Gundam, but it's cup noodles. G. Where are my G parts? This is B. Oh right, this is G. And now A23. It feels like for the sake of neatness, I don't want to take apart this entire tray yet, but just the part I need. So let's do that. And pop right out. Yep, perfect fit. A 22, F3, and gold on top. Okay. Welcome back. Well, that flew. Yeah, flush. If I'm not mistaken, we have now finished the base. So it'll be something like that. All right. Part 3 is when it starts getting a little crazy. All right, so I need these individual letters as well as the cut needle red overlay over here. So first take out H7. They recommend that you don't, but you know what? As long as it's sterilized enough, right? Well, actually, no. I'm not sure what kind of plastic this is. I'm not sure about its ability to handle heat. I'm going to guess it's like standard ABS though, which can in fact handle boiling water. Yeah, that's good. Ah! Where did it go? Where did I drop it? Excuse me for a second. Ah, there it goes. All right, this is finicky. Actually, probably the best way is just to clip all of these out at once and then figure it out. Let's do just that. Finicky as hell. The best way to approach this. Yeah, let's do it. This way, I might just to break it off and scrape off the excess. There we go. I caught on the. They do look kind of huge, huh? Let's see if I've cut everything to size properly. Well, I don't work manual labor, so soft is probably only to be expected. It's been a while since I've done some workshopping. The finickiness of the cup noodle logo makes me realize that this is a very non-standard font. Was this shit hand drawn? Hey, there we go. Perfect fit. All right. Next part. Fit this onto B3. Which is also another perfect fit. And H3, where the heck is that? Here we are. If Cup Noodles wants to run a sponsorship by me, my email is easily found. If Bandai wants to run sponsorship by me, my email is also easily found. Oops, drop that. But yeah, honestly, injection molded plastic wood is one hell of a thing. At least not. No wonder it wasn't going in. It wasn't flush. Like it actually takes some genius design to make something that fits as perfectly as these things do. Although you'll also say that there are some limitations. Like right here, for instance, should be another like red insert, right? But it's too small to actually do anything like that. All right, this says to connect B1 with B2. Oops. Why do I keep on dropping everything today? It's kind of annoying. All right. I need A17. Just tiny bit. F4. Here. The JS logo. H1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 4, 5, 6 is 1, is 2. Yep. Dun, dun, dun. Hey Vinicius, welcome, welcome. Yep, I'm just having a relaxing stream putting together a cup noodle gunpla tonight. So you're not missing much, but I will have announcements that I will be retweeting out onto my Twitter account at the end of the stream. So you won't necessarily miss anything except for the announcements in real time. But that's it. That's about it. 4, 5, and 6. All right. All right. 4. 5. 6. There you go. That uses up the old H tray. All of these look like warning labels. Yep. It says be careful not to spill. Don't microwave the styrofoam unless you want to burn it. This one is insulating, I guess. Can't read the Japanese. Either way, ideally, after finishing the model, you will probably go to fine details again with like a thin white brush, just to make them stand out a little more, and a thin red brush for details like that. All right, now it wants me to put it together. This part attachment doesn't feel quite clean. At this point, if you wanted to make a cup of cup noodles, you technically could. You would want to dip the whole thing in like polyurethane first to give a food safe seal, and obviously the cure to the point that you can pour hot water into it without any adverse effects. But if you wanted to, you now have a cup noodle cup. But we're not done. After all, yeah, it is kind of expensive. It's like $30 for a whole set. We are not, however, completely done. Because what is a cup noodle cup without plastic noodles? That's right. We are also making the noodles. All right, we need E3, 4, 5, and 6. Three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I've already forgotten which part is which. I think I can figure it out. Because this connects like so, which means logically means that there's only a few other possibilities for this. would be even cooler. I will not tell a lie. Actually, no, I take it back. It's cool because it's so mundane. It's cool because it's literally just a model of cup noodles. If you had like a transformation gimmick and turned into like a Transformer or Gundam, that almost cheapened it in comparison. But no, it's literally plastic cup noodles. You can even put uses to like, you know those like Japanese food displays where the food looks amazing but it's actually made of plastic? You can technically use it for those purposes. Like, it is beyond amazing that they made so much painstaking care and detail for cup noodles. That is definitely the part that tickled me when I saw this model on display. Like, there's legitimate love, care, and attention to detail with this model. Not that the Gundam models are ever lacking it, but you know, putting that legendary focus and effort into the #1 college food internationally. That's hilarious. And this part literally just slides into each other. So good. Next is D1 and D2. The best part, the absolute best part about this component in particular, is that if it was any other toy manufacturer, they wouldn't have bothered with this, right? Because if this goes in here, all you really need is the top part. But they know their audience, and they love their attention to detail. So under the expectation that people will want to pull this apart and examine every single facet of it, they even included a bottom piece that's just as fully and richly textured as the rest of the noodle base. So that if you take it apart, you'll see all the noodles at the bottom too. That's legendary. That's how you make a reputation for yourself. And it literally just goes right in. Perfectly formed block of noodles in the cup. And also, it's angled specifically so it has a little reservoir of air at the bottom where all the water is supposed to go once you actually cook them, right? So like soaks, like it's built as if it's supposed to soak up the water, just like in a real cup of cup noodles. If you ever want to display it, if ever we want to just like show off what's inside, you literally just like pop off the front. This is so fun. This is so crazy. Look, they even go into exacting detail about the middle suspension structure and why it's there. Side reinforcements, lower space, dense noodle clusters, upper space. Like shit, they didn't need to go through so much detail. Oh, you know how I was saying that you need to like take some paint afterwards to fill out the details? I was wrong. They have stickers for that. But before I put on the stickers, I'll save those for last because they are by far the most painstaking part. I'll skip part 5 and save it for last, and move on to part 6, which is to take all of these, the toppings, and dump them in. Music stopped. Hold on, what's up? Did the stream freeze or what? No, it's good. Oops, wrong one. That was one shrimp up too far. shrimp chunks, beef chunks, tiny bits of egg. It's got everything. Including, of course, I'll pull this out too. It even has the spring onion. They have to like chop up. You know what you do? Cut it above the cup noodles. That way, when they fall right into it. Oh, neck starts to get a little sore. Wow, it's been almost an hour 30 of this. That's impressive. I've been so totally focused, I lost track of time. Not that I'm actually paying all that close attention to the time today, because I don't have anything except work tomorrow. Oops, that popped up. Actually, yeah. Quick drink. Let me see. Cut from the center to create 2 strips. And then cut at the length of your preference. Excuse me, gas. It says to use a pair of scissors. Do I have one on me? Oh no. Let me see. Nope, no scissors. Scalpel though. Let's go ahead and make it a more manageable size. Not a fan of shrimp? Or are you perhaps allergic? Oh, you want some? Yeah, I can help you there. How easily do they cut apart? Okay, not too bad. Nah, I'll just do a freehand. Dun, dun. And then just dice them up. It's gonna be long. What's the best way to do this? I definitely do not want to do them one by one. Well, let me see if this works with scissors. Serviceable. Not the worst. now we can work on the stickers. This is the part where you definitely need the razor for fine tuning the sticker drops. Every serving boasts 351 kilocalories. Way too precise. Come on, get in there. Stick. Oh my god, that's even smaller. Alright. This would definitely be an even bigger pain in the ass if I was farsighted. Thankfully, that's not my issue. But seriously, these are ridiculously small stickers. There. See? Now it's properly ordered out. Stickers over here, here, and here, just so that you can fill in the little red spaces. Next part is okay. That was all the top ones. 11, 12. You're kidding me. This is sticker number 11. If you can't see it, it's that tiny little red blotch over there. Oh, okay. You see how the U is like one solid block on top? This little sticker goes over there to put a little red divider right in between the two prongs of the U. That's all that sticker does. That's ridiculous. That is tiny as hell. Okay, let's do it. The connecting the connecting red line between L and E for noodle. That's what that was. Oh. You know, I'm actually kind of curious how these stickers are manufactured because the precision that they demand of you is ridiculous. There you go. Now it's fully legible. Now this one, however, is significantly less so. It's a sell-by date. Oops. Oh well. And it literally just goes on bottom somewhere. In fact, there's not even any markers for it or anything, unlike everything else. Let's find a flat no space and Or was I? Right, the warning stickers. See, the Nissan label goes on this red circle. JS. I have no idea what that stands for. Japanese Agricultural Society, maybe? I'll have to look into it. Not that interested in doing so, though. The gold JS label. Dude, really? These are shrimp stickers? Really? Really? I'm not gonna bother with that. I feel like they wouldn't fit well on a shrimp. It's all lumpy. The sides are not flat. Like, I love the attention to details, but the practicality says that the shrimp stickers, it's like one step too far. Where is the lid? Dun, 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 dun. Can I drop it somewhere? Ah, you see it? Yep. Final seal for a cup of ramen. Oops. As if it was being sealed for cooking. And we're done. Jesus Christ, this is hella detailed. Like, I would not be surprised if you scan the barcode over there, it will show up in places, right? Even has ingredients list over here. And the nutritional information over here. That's a good damn auto. That's a good damn model. I'm happy I made this. Whew. And that just took me just a little short of 2 hours. Talk about finicky. All right. With that done, how did I put this away? Now it's safe. I was just sharp pointing things all over my desk right now. All right. With that done, I did promise some content announcements. Let me go ahead and bring those up. Here we are. Let me take off the phone so I have a little more space on the desk. Yeah, all you see is darkness right now because I haven't popped up anything yet. Let me there we go. Society. Device unbound. And close this. Put aside the tripod. All right, let me see. Announcement number 1 is this one. Where is the image? Where did I put that one? Aha. This I'll be putting up on Twitter. Nah. I may or may not commission my artists and riggers to give me an updated model and around like 1 year mark, right? But that's like literally 6 months away, so no rush on that. Number 1 is I'm formalizing the terms of what I discussed about a month ago. No, a little less than a month ago, when I got out GD Strive and said I was going to practice it. Number 1, I'm going to organize like formal money match challenges with various opponents in the community, hopefully. This does, of course, take some coordination on my part and everybody else's part to make sure it goes through. But I actually have a connection with, actually I have more than one connection with the fighting community to hook me up with content creators that's okay with fighting scrubs at my tier. Now, I do want to get up to, at minimum, floor 7 and 8 before I really start doing this. But I kind of figured that if I really start to like push myself and like study hard, floor 7 and 8 as a minimum isn't too bad. People have gone into Celestial when they're just starting out playing fighting games with Guilty Gear with Strive as their first entry into the overall scene. And yeah, I generally want them to be within, let's say, 1 to 2 floors of my current rank, which is really generous. And ready to razzle for 1st to 10. I'm not sure if I want to make like open entries yet, or at least only do like fellow content creators. But it's just a matter of practice, right? A matter of training, and a matter of like seeing who's interested. And I do know I have a friend that used to be a caster for a Smash Bros community that's been helping out a fellow VTuber develop her skills, and she's starting out as well. So even if I'm not at floor 7, even before my current goal of like floor 7, 8, I think I can at least like do a pilot test of of a money match program with her and see what it is. Now, there are two tracks to this. There is the legitimate money match where we're literally betting, I'm saying like up to one solid 100, one solid Benjamin for a first to 10 fight and bragging rights at the end of it. And just like with money on the line alone, I think that's already pretty hype. Or if they don't actually want to risk any actual legitimate cash, and let's face it, as VTubers, all of our money goes to scabs. So if they don't want to bet money, they'll bet a botsu game of choice, a minimum of 3 hours collective stream time of a game of choice if they lose. Now, we have to agree on what game it will be before we start, of course. But this is either going to be things like Jump King, which is a hell to play, or horror games if I happen to know that they're weak to that sort of pressure. We'll agree to the terms before then. And first off, I have to find people willing to fight me. But I want to do this at least once a month, if not twice a month, if possible. And given that I know that Domo already got the place. No, Domo already got thanks. Domo, if you'll probably not see this, but I definitely have you on my kill list. Oh god, a Dead Space remake playthrough. Oh god, I might actually be a little scary. Let's see. That's not the key I wanted. Oops. My OBS suddenly blew up. Hold on. There we are. There we are. Yeah, Dead Space remake. Yeah, that's on the list. That's on the list. All right. Second thing. That was announcement number one. My intention to do legitimate fighting game money matches. Number two, and I spent way too long on the art for this, despite the fact it's so crappy. I will. Okay, art-wise, I'll probably find artists who like remake this. But the Theater of Frosted Jade is basically just a story. It's just like well, let me see. Background is that I got into VTubing in the first place to do the things that I do not feel actually all that comfortable doing, but feel like would benefit me in terms of personal growth to do anyhow. This is between like public speaking, streaming before the public. Eventually, I want to have enough followers and like people watching this to like legitimately have a Zatsudan, because that not only is that like a major part of the VTuber experience, but it's also a part that's only accessible, unfortunately, to people of a certain like audience size, right? But until then, I at least want to practice the stuff that I want to be able to do, but haven't really had the time or practice to do so. So the Theater of Frosted Jade is basically just me doing stuff that I feel like could be either entertaining or at least develop my skills towards music, towards storytelling, towards video editing even. And for the large part, this will be instrumental covers, right? This will be me playing acoustic guitar or electric guitar if I can figure out how to isolate. Oh god, 2 hours of pick lines. I read that as pickup lines. That would be a hell of a thing. Or just me like showcasing the DIY instruments I've been making in the background. Or even art streaks if I can handle that. Oh god, 2 hours of pickup lines. We'll see. That would be hilarious. That would actually legitimately be hilarious. Fundamentally, this is me challenging any form of performance anxiety I might have. Oh yeah, babe, are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see, right? Yeah, that's a good one. That's honestly a pretty funny one. But yeah, this is to challenge performance anxiety before public. Force myself to take music lessons seriously, or at least like self-study music lessons seriously. To finish up my DIY physical projects so I can showcase the instruments. to practice my storytelling and story and screenwriting skills, like to do like spoken word, like theater, and most importantly, to do video editing practice because that is not only related to my real life career, but also something that I think like content creators need to like just like that content creators that don't have any prior video editing experience before should consider it as a major part of their like fundamental skill sets anyhow, and do and practice and eventually like get some minimum level of competence in. So yeah, this will be fun. This I'm planning to do once a month, period. And I'll start off easy on this. Honestly, it'll be something like some basic instrumental plays. I have some ideas for that. Some ideas I've been practicing honestly, but kind of slacked off on because there's like no driving force to do so. And this art, I like the idea of what I draw, but I definitely want somebody to like polish it up. Oh well. Anyhow, moving on. The third and final announcement is related to the VTuber community in general. And so, background on this, VTuber Struggles, the Twitter account, I believe it was run by Dr. Yan Yan, decided to call it quits, mostly because the public attention on them, the rapid rate of growth, made it so that they were unwilling, that running the account was no longer fun for them. The dog days of Saisont, rather, is to showcase what I think are the fun and wild moments of the VTuber community. Either as like weekly TikTok uploads. Welcome back, Gigi. You missed 2 announcements. I will have them on Twitter though, so don't worry about missing them entirely. But this concept is to basically practice video editing and also just to showcase the memorable moments of the VTuber community that I think are overlooked especially by casual viewers when they're thinking of Hololive or Niji Sanji, and they're thinking of like concerts and plays and people like and the whole thing about Seiso is that it's basically that's prim and perfect idol behavior, right? That avoids controversies, avoids outlandish behavior, and that's nothing like VTubers at all. Rather, VTubers, especially if you're following Niji Sanji, are like Finana, where they're actively thirsting on main. They're like Domo, turning into a dog every single time a hot pair of VTuber flashes across his screen. They are Hololive telling you the craziest stories, like infamously Matsuri's Band-Aid story, which was the kick into the rabbit hole for many VTuber fans, and also just like the day-to-day interactions where, under the safety of behind a VTuber avatar, they can wild out. They can act in what I consider to be the more satisfactory parts of being a human being behind the avatar, which is like they're allowed to say the wildest shit. They're allowed to tell the stories that will otherwise embarrass them in front of their parents. They're allowed to showcase the parts of the human experience that we would otherwise like to pretend doesn't happen to us specifically, but which we can admit to because our real life identities are mostly protected. Mostly. So yeah, but that's just the main theme of it. The main purpose of this is, like with the theater idea, the more like formal artistic theater idea I talked about earlier, this is just to have me practice like some minor video editing on like a weekly to a monthly basis. Weekly for TikToks and monthly for curated pieces on individual VTubers that have caught my attention. For all 3, I definitely want people to submit either their willingness to compete with me for the money matches, or to submit ideas, requests, or VTubers that I should be paying attention to for dog days, for instance, so that there's more of a community experience. Pragmatically, this also means I build a bigger audience, let's be frank. but also I just think it's fun. Like, I think it's fun to showcase this kind of stuff. And the fact that a lot of the people in the scene that have been doing like VTuber struggle TikTok, VTuber like thighs TikTok, burnt themselves out, I think it's kind of sad. And I think somebody should be willing to step in and said, okay, take a break. I'll take over for a bit. And yeah, practicing the basic production skills can only be good. Just because, like, ever since I started VTubing, and ever since I started doing things like 3D printing with DIY instrument making and stuff like that, I discovered that all these things that look like they're a huge pain in the ass to learn how to do fundamentally aren't necessarily all that hard. They can be tedious, especially with video editing and like any form of like digital art. There's a lot of documentation to be read. But if you have a keyboard, if you can operate a mouse, it's honestly not that hard to pull them off. Can get confusing sometimes if you're like trying to find like the esoteric definition for certain artistic like tools for like CSP or something. But that's why you can just talk to people and ask them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. My first 6 months. Oops, I can move this. My first 6 months of YouTubing was that I wanted to do a couple of things related to VTubing and related to the content creators that I already knew in the space, and see how much I can get away with. In that regard, I secured the Apex Legends interview with their esports commissioner. I had 2 collabs with TP Skyen to discuss character design and VTuber designs. And, well, Skyen's stuff was immensely successful. In fact, a lot more successful than I thought that they would be, especially since he gave me like 11K views, 12K views on that one video alone. Jesus Christ. I've known that guy for years, and it's always been fun to collaborate with him. But damn, his audience has definitely grown. My next 6 months, I want to do more to reach out to the community itself, rather than my own projects. I know what I can get away with now. I know I can get away with collabs. Yeah, I figured that anybody that's following me, the gross majority, more than 90% of my subscribers probably came from my TV Sky collabs. Like, that's fine with me. But I also think that the rest of the year, now that my workflow is going to cool down around the end of September, I want to interact more with the VTubing community itself and see how much I can get through that way. Skyen, I do plan to figure out what I want. I do plan to have more collabs with him in the future, just because they're always fun to do so. It's just a matter of figuring out what we want to do eventually. That's no rush though. Whereas getting myself up to the point where I can legitimately have like entertaining Guilty Gear money matches, that is a bit of a rush. I need to practice a lot more. And forcing myself to be in a rush to develop skills that I don't have is part of why I'm doing this as well. To give myself a deadline, to work towards that deadline, and to do what is necessary to fulfill that deadline in the way that satisfies me, which involves a lot of studying, a lot of practice, everything else. So yeah, that's where I am right now. It's been a fun 6 months so far. Honestly, I sort of expected that I would be sufficiently frustrated with the lack of an audience and the lack of any progress within 3 months that I might have stopped by then. It would have been like a fun experiment. I get a couple collabs in and I'm done. Streaming, which I've done before VTubing, can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But the nature of where I am in life right now means that having this time to just basically unwind, play what I want, say what I want, pursue the passion projects that currently have my interest, and pursue the skills development that aren't related to anything else in my life that I kind of don't want people to like judge me for based on what they already knew about me before. That's honestly been pretty free. Expensive though. Um, very, very expensive if you get right down to it. Like, I don't want to get into the specific monetary details because that would reveal too much about like that would be discussing issues. Or no, that would be discussing like projects and projects and experiences that involve other people. Right? But if you go into VTubing, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. It's surprisingly easy to get everything together. VTube Studio is cheap. OBS is free. Free music can be found pretty much everywhere. Lofi Girl specifically has it so that you can have, you can stream their music without any licensing costs or any like potentials to get DMCA'd on you, right? And if you fiddle around like voice mod and stuff, so yeah, everything, the basics of it is easy. The expensive part is the part that cannot be simply like duplicated on cheap. You need a decent rigger, you need a decent artist, and that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Even if you find like people that are willing to do it on a cheap, don't pay them what they're worth, even if they're undercharging themselves. But if you pay them what they're worth, expect a pretty big hit to your budget. Whether it's been worth it for me monetarily, that's not my main concern whatsoever. Whether it's been a worthy experience to interact with the VTuber community, to develop skills related to being a VTuber content creator, that I think has been worth my time. So let's see if I still feel the same in 6 months. For now, thank you all for watching, especially Gigi and Dracon. Thank you for hanging out with me and watching me make that cut needle gunpla. Tomorrow we'll be back to the Guilty Gear grind, and we'll probably be spending all that time practicing Giovanna combos more than matchmaking, honestly. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. 6 months has been great. And that's it. Guilty Gear Punishment. Well, I have a lot of fun with that game, even on the grind, so I don't feel too bad about it. So yeah, until then, my friends, eat well and live well.